snowballs, and you see getting right into the ban and protect phase going to be a Vesper ban from CLG here at the start. So I believe we watched a Rise Nation, it was either a scrim or a match where they went for a Vesper, a Pharaoh rapid fire protect on this map. So I wonder if they're going to try and go for that again, because Classic, one of the better players with the Pharaoh in the SMG role.
Yeah, all of these guys, I mean, they could really run any SMG. There's nothing that's really going to hinder these guys for the most part, but I do know, like you said, they do like to rock the Pharaoh. You see rapid fire going to be going, so that's going to kind of limit
Kinetic gets protected, though. That's one.
The first, well, one of the earliest protects we've ever seen on Connect.
Well, when we spoke to Parasite on our Thursday show, he was saying, Kinetic and active camo, two of the biggest specialist abilities in respawn game modes now.
Certainly.
So Rise going to protect one of them, keep it in the game for themselves. And there you see active, that's going to go at the hands of CLG. So not surprised to see that one leave.
Now, this is, again, a map that we've talked about how the SMG players can really start to make an impact here on evac. Are there two guys, just when you're talking SMG specifically, that you're really looking to go off in this one?
You look at potentially like Looney and Classic for Rise.
Looney might be one of the better hardpoint players in the game right now.
He might be. And then I think on the side of CLG, you look at somebody like Felony or Methods, one of those guys, and you're going to see Kinetic get drafted early by Felony. Looney going to go with Heatwave. Saw so many crazy plays with Heatwave in the last week of play. And then you're going to see Purifier get drafted by Classic. This is one that we're going to start to see more often. Maven, the Purifier does work inside of those close quarter hardpoints.
Yeah, especially, what was it? I think it was Breach last week that we saw Methods really making an impact with the Purifier. We saw a lot of these guys just starting to really put that to effective use in hardpoint, because it not only can it pick up the kills, but the big thing is you can basically cut off an entire doorway, sometimes two, really, depending on the size of that room.
And you're going to see a scythe come out from both sides as well. So
sure,
pretty even draw from both teams. I think Kinetic, that's huge, obviously, to break into the hard points. And even, you're the last line of defense. Somebody comes in, you just pop the Kinetic, pick up those two kills. And
absolutely.
I think what Parasite was kind of touching on when we had him on Thursday, and I agree with it, is Active and Kinetic are really good at getting those high-impact kills. And when we say high-impact kills, we mean the kills that break the hard points, win you rotational gunfights. Those are the biggest gunfights in the entire game.
Well, it's funny because when we first started talking about camo, it was really just how big can it be in S&D. But I remember I was watching, I think it was just 8s being played, and it was Classic, and I think it was. I'm trying to remember what map, but there was a scythe set up at a hard point. Really, really tough to deal with, obviously. When you have a scythe looking down like a long sight line, he just pops camo, goes in, takes out the scythe player. It just ended any kind of roll. I mean, it stopped him from getting streaks. It broke the hole they had on that hard point. It was actually the bunker hard point, so a harder one to break into.
Camo's great to just get yourself in a position that obviously they can't see you get there and just get the jump on one player. I mean, a kill like that, taking out a player with a scythe, or able to kill one guy on rotation and then able to control a spawns for your team. Those are huge kills that leads to
absolutely
an unimaginable amount of time, a time you can't really even put a number to. You just don't know what it leads to. And I think you'll start to see, I think Kinetic and Active are two musts now in respawn game modes.
Yeah, it's certainly starting to look that way. But for all of you guys on Twitter, we'd like to know, who do you think is going to pull off?
There's a lot of people on Twitter.
There's quite a few. Who's going to pull off the biggest upset today? Tweet that at myself, Matt Mr. X, at the COD World League. We want to hear your thoughts and use the hashtag CWLPS4 because there's a lot of potential for upsets. You got to think, anyone beating Optic or FaZe is their 4-0 will be an upset.
Yeah.
I think Rise losing this is definitely an upset. And then for the second match, Elevate versus Luminosity, or the third match, sorry.
Yeah.
For that one, I mean, that's kind of tough, right?
And then, I mean, the two matches on the secondary stream, you got TK, Complexity. I think TK, you'd say, winning that one would be an upset. TK is a team that desperately needs to win Maven. And then DT going up against Rush Esports, formerly Question Mark. I think that's a big match as well. DT obviously needs to get on the board, but the first match is going to be evac hardpoint. See there, the score limit, 250 points, a 5-minute time limit, no respawn delay in this game mode. And obviously, when you're inside the hill, when one team is controlling the hill, the overall time not going to move prevents a lot of the stuff we saw in previous games with hardpoint where a team is mathematically eliminated. I love the new feature.
Well, let's kick it over to Slack. We talked about his presence in the game, how he's been just playing so well. Young guy, just recently turned 18. This is going to be a big year for him, and he's 3-0 to kick things off. Look at the hip fire there coming in from the VMP. He's already got his HC car ready, and it is about to be a 20-0 lead here early on for the side of Rise Nation.
And what's interesting is usually you would say a guy like Slack doesn't have a lot of big game experience. But this guy has played in huge matches before. Like you said, he's at X Games. He's played in a lot of top 3 matches.
Sure.
Guy has all the experience in the world. I think when it comes around towards champs time, not going to be a worry whether he can handle that pressure.
And one thing I've noticed just early off the rip, you see Slacked and Classic both going to be running that perk 1 greed. So they're going to have overclock and also afterburner here. Because Purifier, that's going to be big for him to get that quicker. And then I think it was Kinetic for Slacked. You talked about what impact specialist ability that can be.
I mean, you talked about Slack not missing right there. It was actually Classic starting off 7-2 as well, and he's got he's got a lightning in his back pocket.
They're combined for 15-3 right now, Matt.
If you are CLG, a team, I don't want to say desperate need of a win, but obviously this is a huge series they want to play well in. Being down 67-0 and counting is not the way you wanted to start this one.
Absolutely not. We're watching this back push as they're trying to come from the backside to this second hard point. It was Octane and Classic doing a good job of holding that off. You can see they're trying to push the front now. Going to try and keep eyes on with Slacked and also with Classic, just because he's going to, like you said, he's got his Purifier to go. He also has the Lightning Strike. He's ready to do some damage now. Most likely going to save that here for potentially the third hard point, but might just save it for a little later in the game.
I mean, you can use the Lightning Strike on that hill, but the team doesn't really have much of anyone on the rotation at this point, so it's actually going to be, well, Rye's going to get control of the hill. It's really kind of crazy that CLG is not going to be set up for this one. You're going to see it's going to start to rotate. You're going to have Felony up top, not able to take out another, and this should be Rise able to control this hill early, maybe.
Yeah, I want to see Felony. He was in kind of a sneaky position there, but unfortunately he is going to get called out pretty quickly. Combat's going to be coming around the back, gets some hit markers, gets the assist finally. Let's see if now they can get a bit of a hole, because it's a 101 to 8 right now, and just look at the KDs at the top right now. Like, this is just
you saw where Felony was set up. He picked up 1 or 2 kills, but 2 or 3 players for Rise made it by, and it looked like, at least if you were staring at the mini map, CLG's taking some time there, but it was such an easy break for Rise. Just CLG not doing a good job controlling those respawns for these hills.
Really what you see here is just a really well-rounded team, because you have Slacked and Classic. They're going to be kind of your impact guys, along with Looney, when you're talking about those original hard points, those big engagements at close range. Octane, though, ends up going on a 4 spree when you get outside. When it becomes those longer lines of sight, you can just see kind of that slaying presence going back and forth between all of these guys, and that's key if you're going to hang with top teams like Optic and FaZe.
Oh, without a doubt. And that's why we think this Rise team can contend with those teams. You're going to see Slack pop his Kinetic. He's going to take out one, not able to finish off the second one. BL Fire connecting with a headshot. Only way you can really easily take out a guy with kinetic armor, and it's going to be CLG controlling the hill, and this was important. They rotated early to this one. They needed to control it. Let's see if they can make a little bit of a comeback here, put themselves in somewhat of a position to even make this an interesting game in the second half.
At this point, they just have to get some points on the board, right? Get something going, something to feel good about as you get going in the game, but they're still trailing by 100 plus. Watching Octane, nice shots coming. They mark 16, he can all 3. No, he's going to only get 1, tag up a couple others. I don't know if they got cleaned up. I think it was actually Complex.
He forces a team kill there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a team kill there, so it's going to be Rise taking the last 10 seconds or so on this hill. And if you're CLG, you are at a point where obviously you don't want to play for that garbage time. But I mean, Maven, you're down 160 to 27. You at this point you need at least one person to try and play for that contention and then win those gunfights for the next hill, because you see they're rotating early, but they're not even winning the gunfights. It's just Rise able to come in, clean them up. Felony with a nice 2-piece right there with the Kinetic. It's going to be Octane coming down with Sight. When he decides to use that, it might be on this hill, able to set up on those top stairs over by that balcony, lock players down. Now spawning at the bottom. I expect him to save that. There's no reason to use it on this hill. They have full control.
Yeah, I'm just hopping through here, trying to see who is getting close to Specialist. Try to keep an eye on that for me, just so we can take... It's Octane right now, so he just started to get the scythe pulled out. He was able to actually pick up 3 before he eventually fell. For you boys and girls at home that are watching right now, I know it seems trying to focus a little more on Rise just because of the blowout. For you guys that are trying to learn how to play hardpoint better, keep an eye on the minimap. Keep an eye on what these Rise players are doing right now, because they are in complete and utter control here, doing great stuff early.
You see Slack getting close to his kinetic armor yet again. Methods with that Purifier might elect to use it. He's got to wait for a teammate or two to get over by him. Then might try and break in, but you see you have Slack coming around the outside. He's going to come behind 1 or 2 players here on CLG.
Yeah, that's a great job just flanking around behind as he's going to pick up 2, clear it out. Unfortunately, 1 more at home for him to deal with. But, I mean, this has been one of the more dominating efforts we've seen in Hardpoint. 204 to 42. What can you recommend for CLG here? What is the advantage that Rise Nation has that's made it such a disparaging victory?
The CLG is doing a nice job rotating, but they just aren't winning those gunfights. It's those high-impact kills that Rise is getting time and time again. No, Classic doing a good job in it. Octane really doing a good job as well. We haven't really shown too much of him. He's 20 and 12 right now with some good hill time, but it's really those AR gunfights all the way in the back that's opening those lanes for his SMGs to push forward.
Well, let's keep an eye on him, especially once we're going to be going into this 3rd hard point. This is the one where he made impact last time. Yeah. This is where he went on the 4 streak, and he can get these long lines of sight. Unfortunately, he's going to be cut up there by the M8 coming in from BL-Fire. Excellent job from him, but they are still trailing so massively right now. It's hard to even begin to talk about a comeback when you're trailing by this big a deficit.
Well, Slack is sitting here in this middle door. He's waiting for his teammates to push down that right side. And once the guys on CLG pay attention to them, that's when he's going to try and push out and make a flank. And you're going to see Classic gets all the way behind CLG. Now you see you have a little bit of a split. His teammates spawn so far away, though, Maven. CLG doing a nice job controlling this hill. Classic doing a good job as well. Not pushing this right away, waiting for his teammates to get over. See it. It's going to be a car coming in right around the corner from BL-Fire. He turns the opposite way. 2 kills for Slack, 1 for Classic and Looney, and that is a break. Yeah.
Turns his back to the car, takes it in the back, stays alive for just a second, but ultimately will be cleaned up. 14 points remaining to be gained here for Rise Nation before they can close out Game 1. An absolutely dominating effort here in Game 1.
And it sounds so simple. It sounds so simple right there, right? Where Classic, just wait for your teammates, but a lot of players we've just seen, push towards that hill, try and pick up 1 or 2 kills, and then they just die, and it doesn't really impact the game at all, because now your teammates have to fight players off of spawn, still putting them in a difficult situation. Classic does a great job waiting for his teammates, gets them a few seconds there, and it's a 250 to 91 win for Rise Nation, map number 1. A bit of a blowout.
And it kind of got off the rails early. You saw what would it be, Slacked in Classic, that like the light or a ceiling fixture, and it ends up landing right on the B site. I'm curious if we're going to see that come into play.
I don't think we see anyone trying.
You don't?
No.
It's kind of, I like it. It's flashy.
It's flashy, but anytime you have to rely on banking it off of a light and connecting on a player, I don't think it's probably the safest route to go.
When Fizzard uses it today, I'll tell you.
Well, you're going to see a Vesper. The overkill is gone, so probably won't see any action with like the SVG at all. Maybe we see if like an MR6 makes it in. Maybe somebody keeps going with the sniper rifle, but going to see you have Shiva gone as well. Concussions, high caliber, and flashbangs also.
Yeah, we'll take a look just to see. Rapid fire should be coming through. You got to think at least potentially what? We still have all the specialists. Like nothing's come out yet. So what do you think they're going to take out? Maybe kinetic armor?
Kinetic or active. I think those would probably be the biggest ones on this one to take out. And it looks like we're going to see Overdrive. So
well, that's good for this large map.
Sense,
You can get to a lot of key positions, obviously. If it's a 1v1, you can almost cover both bomb sites. That'll be a fun one to watch. I mean, this has still probably been the most entertaining map we've had in S&D thus far. Just taking a look at what they did. What was it? Remember with Nagafen?
Yeah,
they had that route underneath, kills
5,
3 on Optic. They have the round 11 game 5 ends up going to. So some of the best plays we've had in Search and Destroy certainly come from this one.
So we're going to see Vision Pulse on both sides. So far we have active on both sides. I fully expect a kinetic come out of CLG. There it is. And I think Vision Pulse is an interesting on this one. So now it comes down to you can pretty much get a Heat Wave or a Psychosis. I think Heat Wave makes the most sense for both teams here. You're going to see Heat Wave come out. I agree with all of those. I don't think there's anything that kind of strikes me that's different or crazy out of any of those teams. I think Vision Pulse is a good one for Redwood, because if you're going to push towards that ace site, right, a lot of players just lay around that corner, or they'll play in that back tree area.
Sure.
Or they can play on the site. They can play in the wall run box. A lot of different areas they can play over there. You're able to get a quick ping. And then if you don't see anybody, you need to hit it right away. That's the thing. When Vision Pulse pops up, gives you away on the radar a little bit, you need to hit it right away.
Well, I mean, for the most part, when we're talking about A, I mean, you usually have one person playing defense. I mean, sometimes two, but mostly you have a 3-stack at B. So will be interesting to see how this plays out, because most times you're going to see teams hitting B pretty much over and over and over again. One time you're going to see a team kind of go towards A. I think TK is a team that likes to go towards A a bit. Teams prefer, obviously, different sites a little, but I imagine this will be B dominant for the most part.
Something we haven't seen. Can you use the blip on the vision pulse to kind of throw a team off guard? So let's say
we saw X do it the one time, right?
On offense, you go over towards A, you use vision pulse, it pings you on the radar. You assume the defensive team is just going to be on their comms, like, oh, they vision pulse over at A, they got to be coming towards A, and immediately you have your other 3 teammates hit B right away. I think that's something you can definitely use to throw them off guard.
Could be, yeah. No, well, the only time I can think about it, I think, was Breach with Aches did it with Envy. They kind of pushed up, they called it. It actually forced one or two players to rotate over, and they
use on the defensive side of things. Yes, they push straight through that B bomb site. I'm saying on offense.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing for the most part.
It's the same kind of thing. Yeah, I think you just have your 3 teammates go over by B, not be seen. As soon as you pop that vision pulse, you just try and get the bomb down right away. I think it's a reasonable play. We haven't seen anyone do something like that yet, but I think somebody would.
I haven't really seen Vision Pulse used super effectively. I feel like in S&D, we saw it used really well in CTF. A player would get a flag pull. They called it like right after they got the flag pull. It gave them an idea where they were spawning, what route to run. I can't think of a lot of big play moments we've seen with it, because like you said, it's usually just for scouting information. What site are you going to hit? We'll see if it's going to have an impact in this one. It looks like offense to kick things off is going to be CLG. Anyone in particular you want to kick things off with, Matt?
You can choose, Maven.
I'm going BL Fire.
Yeah, BL Fire is going to be running that assault rifle, and it looks like CLG on offense going to have 2 players actually head over towards mid. This is what you're going to see on defense as well, usually a stack of that B site. So Octane's going to be running that sniper rifle. Remind you, overkill gone, and Slack just pushes right up to the rock, able to take methods out. Had teammate cover as well, so I don't think even if Slack dies, they probably would have traded that kill.
Well, he's able to pick it up. They have a 4-3 advantage. They're still working by this B side now. Is CLG. Well, down a man. There's one player here, kind of in bottom lab. Is he going to try and peek that? I'm not sure if he got eyes on him as he went across.
Nope. BL Fire going to be able to take out Classic. So it's interesting. It's like almost both teams have like traded sides of the map, as you saw where Complex was playing Looney on a very long flank here. Has the opportunity to catch this player off guard in bunker. Going to elect not to push it right away. They may try and draw him out some shots, and the timing right there.
He ends up seeing him just a bit. He's going to push in and challenge this. Looney able to win it, and that's a big one, because now he doesn't have his backside watched. Can they flood in? It's going to be 2v2. He gets eyes on one in water. Looney coming up huge right now, but comes down to a 1v1, and Complex able to shut it down. Yeah,
huge round win for CLG.
I switched to Looney a little early. He had that really long flank, but he was the player that almost got it done for Rise. Unfortunately, he's a bit tagged up, and you see Complex. Nice shots there as he pushes here to top window.
Well, CLG able to win that one after losing the first blood, right? Slack pushes up, takes out methods right away, gets bombed down on bridge. CLG somehow takes that 3v4 scenario, converts it into a win, so big first round there for CLG.
Yeah, and that's tough. I mean, especially when you're in a 3v4 early on the offensive side of things. That makes it even more difficult. So, impressive win here for CLG. We'll see if they can get things back together. You can see via the X-ray vision, Looney has 2 players basically playing in middle right now. Does he opt to push forward? That looks like it's going to be the play. We'll take a look at his class. You can see the RK5 in the back pocket. He will be running overclock, and then it's going to be perk 3 for a lot of these guys, so you get blast suppressor and dead silence.
And that is such a fantastic spot for Looney to play in. You saw Slack aiding Classic over by that B bomb. They're going to be able to get it down, and Octane immediately turns and starts watching his back over by bunker. You see Classic picking up a 2nd kill this round. Another kill out of Octane, and he sees a player on the B bomb side. Classic picks up 3 that round. A very easy offensive round at Rise Nation.
I couldn't figure out which direction that player was going to go. I was like, Octane's either going to snipe him in the back or he's going to fly towards B. And you can see it. We kind of saw from Octane's point of view as this player wraps the corner, and that's Classic. Closing things out. And you can see there he's also going to be running blast suppressor and dead silence. Going to be very popular throughout this S&D, but it's going to be tied up 1-1 here. Offense going back to the side of CLG. It was Complex that closed out round 1. Let's see if he can come back.
Classic's actually having a very good start to this game, 3-1. He's got his HCXD. You see Octane picking up 1 kill right there on the Felony. Felony actually able to pick up Slack in the process, though, so it's going to be an even trade for both teams. I want to keep an eye on Classic. If he can pick up some kills this round, maybe get a bomb defuse, get closer towards that lightning.
Yeah, he's What, 3:50 to go here. He'll be watching window. Is anyone going to challenge Methods? Methods has to play this smart because he doesn't really have a whole lot of help. And unfortunately, if I blow up the minimap, you have this player in the far back who is at BLFire. BLFire isn't really in a great position to help. Now he's going to have to rotate over as you saw all three players kind of stacked behind B.
And Classic's going to like to use his HC here. He's going to hit a hit marker right there on Methods, not able to finish him off. A little bit of questionable use right there, Maven. No, it's a 2v2 scenario. See, Octane on bomb, not able to get the defuse. BLFire going to finish off that kill. But
well, I hated that BLFire was so far away from his team because, well, because we can see there's no one flanking. You usually want to be back there in case anyone's going to be wrapping around, but when we can see there's nobody flanking, it actually works out great for him as he's going to be able to work a perfect pinch here. Plays out nice. Good positioning there from BLFire.
I would have liked to see Classic save that HC. I don't think you needed to use it right there. And even when he comes out of that menu and he's got Methods right in front of him, he switches to the RK5. If he doesn't have it out, you know, Methods comes around that corner and he just puts 2 shots in him with the M8. He might be able to kill him. And see Classic with the Kuda right there. Maybe let's just jump on board with him again. He was actually going underneath the wall run. He's going to go right up onto that A side. I don't think they have any clue he's there.
Well, the teammate, I wanted to watch the flanker who was trying to come behind quick. That was Felony, and he gets one. I believe he got the bomb planter. He hit inside bunker so fast, just went straight up middle and started to flank pretty much immediately.
Well, once you see the stack coming in over at A, there's really nothing that you have to worry about when you're hitting that flank.
Sure. But look at the positioning here. You have a 2v2. They're both around site. Do they decide to push towards B? It looks like that's the call. And BLFire ends up shutting them both down. And he's back basically in spawn here. Good job closing it out. You said CLG had to win this one. BLFire coming up huge here.
Yeah, Octane with that sniper rifle Maven. He's doing a good job getting some picks with it, but I'd like to see him switch over to the AR in his hand. With overkill gone, he's only going to have that pistol in his back pocket. He has an M8. He probably plays that situation a little bit different.
Well, that's what's tough. You know, we don't have overkill. Snipe's great, but if you don't get an early pick, you become a big liability when you get down to those 2v2
Let's go on with
situations.
BLFire. So
sure.
He's had a pretty good last few rounds. He's got Heat Wave. Let's see if they decide to use it this round, maybe with a push over towards B.
All right, they're going to start to get forward here across bridge. He's just checking window wisely before he crosses. I wanted to see the setup here below. It looks like Classic's going to be watching outside. Now, you just saw that bomb area jump across. Is he going to challenge you? You got to get back if you're Classic. That's not a gunfight you want to take.
Nope, Method's going to back down and try and get bombed down here. Looks like he should be able to. Look at all of the players from Rise converging over by this B bomb site. One player in the middle, Complex doing a nice job taking out Octane. You got BLFire with another kill on a Slack, so that's going to give BLFire his HCXD. Really having a very good search and destroy game with the rest of CLG. We talked about how good they are in this game mode.
Excellent job.
Currently up 4-1 here against Rise.
Yeah, they're doing a really, really good job here, and a lot of it's just been the positioning they have. I feel like Rise Nation is constantly getting pinched. Well, they're doing a good job of getting the bomb down early, too, which is a big part of it, but they're constantly getting pinched. All these players having to have their head on a swivel here as they just have a player inside a bunker, a player right behind bomb using that as cover. Sometimes players almost pushing through A to flank. They're doing a really, really good job here. Rise Nation, though, back to the offensive side of things. Can anyone start to have some monster rounds here for them?
And they need a round win in a bad way here. Obviously, to go down 5-1 would be, having to say, almost impossible to come back from. We saw it last week with Optic and Luminosity, but
and Felony again, just pushing straight up through bunker.
I mean, he is showing no fear. They don't watch it at all. You see BLFire picking up Classic with the HC. I was going to say, maybe this is a round we see a specialist use out of Rise, but CLG he's pushing them back. Look at how far in the map they have forced Looney back.
Just run to the trees.
Yeah, he's pretty much forced all the way back to his spawn, just running away from all four members of CLG.
I feel like he's an Ewok right now. These are stormtroopers just chasing him down. Poor guy's got nothing he can do. Going to be taken out. 5-1 advantage here for CLG. Incredible job. I mean, they're just shutting it down. Again, that's Felony running on mid-map because you hit a couple G slides, you can get under that bunker window faster than they can see you. So you can get there very quickly. But you have to have someone that's at least playing back to watch him. He can't just jump into window time and time again. Do I get it a little bit more if they're pushing the A side of the map? Because you end up watching the flank usually from outside of it? Sure. But not when you're going towards B. Someone has to be playing in around bunker.
I agree with you. There probably should be somebody there when you're going to be pushing towards that B side. But they found the hole in Rise Nation's offensive game, and BLFire 125 off of his next streak. He switched so fast, maybe I didn't see it. It's actually going to be a dart, his next one. So It's got 2 players, actually.
I'm sorry, who were you speaking about?
I was speaking out BL-Fire, but you can stay on with...
well, let's take a look. He's 125, so he's really close.
And they gave him the bomb as well, so he's going to try and probably get this one over at A. You see the rotation came in from Rise. They just stacked all 4 at the B site. This A is completely open for CLG to take, and you see the guys on Rise getting over towards that A site now. They've realized that CLG has rotated the bomb.
Well, Slack needs to get some help. He's the first one in right now, but he's got a whole team to deal with, as you can see from the minimap. Now they're going to start to collapse together. Who's going to be the first man? You can see Octane jumping in there. He should be engaging in just a moment. It's Classic picking up the first. Here they go. The pinch is on. They're trying to fly in. Decent shots coming in. Actually, great shots from Slack there as he grabs one. It's going to be an HC car able to clean him up. It's going to be a 2v1, though. It's going to be Methods by himself. How are they going to play this? He's trying to shut him down. Peeks at an inopportune time. Will get cleaned up, and Looney's got plenty of time here for the bomb.
Yeah, I was going to say, Looney's pretty far away. Oh, both of them went to almost hit the wall run at the same time.
Well, I like that they were at least decisive. They're like, it's a 2v1. You got to go. I mean, look at the clock right now. If he didn't go, he's going to end up with, what, 3.5 seconds?
Yeah.
If they delay that a little bit,
you
could find yourself in trouble.
Somehow makes it behind the tree, let's say. Just saves himself another few seconds. He might have been able to clutch that round. You see right here, Slack picking up that final kill on the wall run. Smart play to challenge it. Looney just tags him up a little bit in the back as he follows him up, but nope. Rise staying alive, Maven. You saw a 5-1 comeback last week with Optic against Luminosity.
That was painful to watch. This would be just as bad. I mean, especially with the woes CLG have had just in general so far to kick off the season. You got to hope they're able to close this one out. Now, I want to watch Felony because he's been pushing straight up the middle time and time again. This time he plays back a little bit, but you see they have someone that got here to watch it pretty quickly.
Yeah, but look how fast the guys on CLG are hitting through that A bomb site. So the flank's still open here.
Yeah, you got Complex highlighted.
Of Rise.
And there's no one watching it. Look at the minimap. No one's watching this whatsoever. Are any of these red arrows going to turn here? No one's turned. This should be at least a free kill or 2. This is unbelievable. Yeah, he's got 2 right here.
It's going to be Complex and Methods. He's going to be able to pick up 2 very easy. And Rise, I don't want to say they're falling apart here on offense, but...
Well, it's a 1v4. Can Looney do it?
Yeah.
That came down to me.
The offensive sides for Rise, they just did not adjust properly at all.
It almost looked... I don't know how to say this because I know I'm not a professional player, but
you're not.
They seem to not understand the offensive side of things.
When I actually just jump straight into game number 3, it's going to be Fringe Uplink. Love Uplink, man. Just one of the
big fan, especially on Fringe. You know, we've seen some of our closest matches. We've had some wild ones on this. We've also had a 30-1 victory.
Yes.
That's where question mark. Unfortunately, was that Rise? Versus question mark, where they brought that hammer down.
Yep.
So we know that Rise can play this effectively.
It was on this map as well. So
yeah.
You're going to see Looney protecting Afterburner.
Interesting.
Very interesting. You're going to want that to obviously hit those G-slides, get across the map fast as possible. Fringe, large map, definitely want to get that speed advantage.
And you think most runs, a lot of times they're going to be
wall runs and stuff.
Tracks. Sometimes you'll get through middle, but I feel like most of the runs kind of end up going through tracks a lot of times.
Yes.
So that's it's kind of that straight line where you can just chain several G slides together, or wall run, whatever your preference is.
Interesting. So you don't see. This is a map where the specialists are so hard in the ban and protect phase because you want to get rid of something like overdrive. Then how powerful is kinetic? In uplink, how powerful is active? They like to get rid of active.
So we still have overdrive, we still have kinetic, we still have overclock. So I mentioned overclock because you and I are going to talk about this until we're old and gray. I don't know how we haven't seen, okay, I'm already old and gray, I take that back, until you're old and gray.
It should be a while.
When are we going to see overclock start to get banned? Is it something that both teams just think like, hey, we have more of an advantage using it? Or I just don't know because we see it be such a difference maker.
I think teams, not everybody is running it, so they don't view it as something as like a crutch perk, so to speak.
Well,
so I'm
watching Looney and Complex for sure because they better if one of them.
Well, Looney's been running overclock pretty much.
Oh, he should. But what was it? It was the game last week that it was TP on one side
and attach on the other side.
Attach and overclock.
Yep, phase NVCTF.
And he had like double the overdrives, and it was a huge difference maker.
And I think even, we look back and we see the Diabolic play in CTF against Complexity with like the double heat wave.
Yeah,
that was something that was wild. He had overclock there, able to give him that ability. Note twice. We can actually talk a little bit more about some of these. So on the side of CLG, you're going to have a Scythe and an Annihilator. So they go with 2 weapons.
Yeah.
On a map like this, would you rather have a heat wave than another weapon?
Personally, yeah.
Personally, for me,
I would.
This is one of the ones where I would have said, okay, let's not use the Annihilator, let's use something like Heatwave.
I mean, I'm becoming more and more a fan. I know you and I have been back and forth a little bit. Do we like kind of that 3-1, or we like the 2-2 when it comes to weapons and abilities?
I like 2-2 when it comes to most of the time.
I do, but like I'm starting to shift towards the 3-1 just because of the impact that Overclock has. Like seeing how quickly. I mean, he had what the Diabolic play in particular. He used the Heatwave. I think he got a score in 1 kill. Heatwave was up again, or something like that.
He had to return a kill.
And a score, was it?
And then a score.
And it was just immediately back, and he's able to pop it. I mean, in this, just think about it, especially if you can, like, let's say you're overdrive and it's uplink, and you have a score, a big kill. You use your overdrive, you have a score, a big kill, or like a melee with the drone. I mean, it's almost back already, right? It's going to be, I have to see how quick it is with overdrive, but
it's got to be close.
That's what I'm keeping an eye on for sure.
You got players editing their score streaks right now. Expect to see the lightnings and the hellstorms, no more darts. The HC, I don't even know how much of an impact it is on uplink just because it's so fast-paced.
I don't think it really has much.
Not as much as like Hardpoint
or Dart, just because.
Or S&D.
I mean, can you, like, if you're on defense and you know they're pushing with something, you call it in to
hold
something off, you still would rather be guns up.
Yeah, you still would rather have your gun out.
Yeah, I don't see it playing a role. I mean, we're probably mostly on uplink, CTF. I think we're going to see Hellstorm, Lightning, and then usually what it's either going to be a Wraith or Raps or someone that you're kind of shooting to try and stat a little bit and pick up that dominating score streak.
If you're just new, uplink, it's going to be an unlimited score, 5-minute time limit, and a 5-second respawn delay. So jump in the game.
So we've got a bit of a mix here. We actually have like 3 HCs on one side. I'm just trying to go through real quick so you guys keep it on. It's HC car for most people. You have a Wraith for one of them. But let's take a look here as we are going to be on board with Looney, kicking things off.
And he's going to go for a 1-point throw right off the bat. He's actually going to not connect with it. He's going to chase the drone into the enemy base. He's going to get taken out and see slacked over by the mid-map. Not able to make anything happen. And you see the drone going to get picked up by BL Fire. Let's see if they elect to wrap this one out of the base, Maeve.
Taking a look, and he is just going to basically toss that one out immediately. We'll stick with him as he's going to be playing a bit of defense right now. Let's take a look. Who's going to be our drone carrier here? It's going to be Looney trying to push through Barn. Can he get the 1-point toss through? He is going to be able to connect.
He would have connected with that first one. I think he just threw it a little bit high, but you can see Classic get set up in the CLG base. This is exactly what they did to Question Mark in the 30-1 blowout. Maeve, Octane with the drone in hand. Looks like he's going to be able to get off a 1-point throw. Going to connect with it. So fantastic start here for Rise Nation.
All right, switching through. Let's just look at drone control right now. You see Slack set up here in the middle, try and make a play. Highlighting Complex, he's going to be the one guy from the side of CLG that might be in a position. It's going to be Classic that's going to be able to get it in his hands. The push is coming forward. He's going to wrap around the left side. He put a 1-point toss right over the top, basically, able to put them up 3-0.
And you see they trap them in that back alley, and they have the AR set up all the way behind that back rock. It's such a hard spot to pick that guy off of cover. You see Octane set up mid-map. They're going to go for drone control yet again. It's going to be picked up by Looney. He actually uses his overdrive, and he's going to be able to put this one.
No!
He gets taken out at the last second. Jinxed him a little bit. Classic there in support, though. Has one player to his left. Going to use that heat wave. Going to have a one-on-one engagement here, trying to get this drone in. He's going to get taken out. Fantastic shots there from BL Fire. Should be able to stop a score here from Rise, but Looney still on the attack. Just the pressure that Rise is putting on the CLG base.
Yeah.
CLG just forced to rotate from that back alley time and time again.
They're just pinned, man.
They have almost no touches of the drone other than, well, they do have no touches of the drone other than getting it out of their own base.
Yeah, I'm just trying to watch the guys. You know, they're doing such a good job here for Rise of just controlling mid. This is going to be the first time they're really going to lose control for just a second. Drone going to fall to BL Fire. They're trying to play this possession game now as they've been getting completely dominated up to this point. They're trying to clear the way for him. He's just holding it here in L, not able to really do anything with it right now, trying to reset his armor.
Yeah, he wants his teammates to pick up some kills. You see a smoke come in as Complex picks up one, and now an HC comes over the top. This is going to be, they're just going to let the HC guide BL Fire, and he should be able to put in a 2-point play here. So for as good as Rise has been at the start, Maven, CLG putting in that 2-point play, it's only a 1-score game. If you're CLG, you are thrilled with the start.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely feeling good about it. And it was part of it, Looney getting shut down when he had overdrive. Is that a part where I think you're too greedy? You should have maybe tossed it? No,
I think with overdrive, yeah, with
exactly.
overdrive, you go for it. And he's got it again. Is he running overclock? Let's take a look. We didn't actually check.
Yes, he is.
So he is. So he's going to have Afterburner and overclock. And that is a powerful combination when you have one of these abilities in uplink.
They see a toss forward to him. Here comes the pass, but unfortunately he gets picked off from his side. If he's able to get that in his hand, bust that overclock, I mean, he's got a good opportunity there to probably get forward for points.
Yep, you're going to see Classic coming down trackside. Him and Octane done just a great job of locking down the spawns of CLG. You're going to see Slacked. He's going to be trying to push up towards top barn, but here comes the drone down the right-hand side of the map. Does he elect to use overdrive? I don't think he should. Now that everybody's dead, he's going to go for a one-point throw. Not able to connect yet again, and I actually think it was a little bit to the left. I think he had the right shot, but a little bit to the left there. Looney with his second miss of the game, but you can't really down him for those. Two very difficult shots.
Yeah. One, you get killed basically trying to fly in. The second is, like you said, pretty deep range. Drone spending so much time in the back of the CLG base. They've got to be ecstatic to get it out for a second time. The question is, can they turn this into a second dunk? He's going to try and go for it. Teammate picks up one with the Annihilator, and that's Methods going big.
With 4 kills with the Annihilator. So we missed one, and then he picks up a 3 feed right there. And now he's set up in the back of the Rise base. We talk about some of these guns, whether to use them, and when you have an
that's a prime example.
When you have an Annihilator and you're able to connect with some shots like that, I mean, you can't really hate on anyone for using it, especially when you're making that much work with it. You see the drone gonna go down towards that back alley area. This is where you usually try and spawn trap somebody from the Rise Nation side. It's gonna be Octane trying to connect with a one-point throw. Good job to tie it up here. The final seconds, can Looney pick up some kills and make something happen with his overdrive? He's got players to his right and his left. Maven, he's going to get one, not able to pick up any others. Drone looks like it's not going to move out of the middle of the map. And as I say, FBL Fire picks up 2. He's got, I'll get a confirmation. I believe it's 13-5, but
yeah.
We can take a look at the ban and protect phase going into game number 4 here. It's going to be Methods getting rid of the Vesper here early.
All right, so Vesper's going to go. Nothing else. Yeah, Looney taking his time right now regarding this. For CTF on this particular map, is there anything you really expect to see go from either of these teams?
I wouldn't be surprised to see Active go. We've seen what Active can do with smoke grenades, and you're going to see the Shiva go as well. And now you're going to have Rapid Fire go also, so Classic's going to get rid of that one. Nothing too shocking at this point. High caliber, stuns, and nothing out of the ordinary so far. Maybe an ability here with these last 2. Maybe an overdrive.
Well, yeah, because we still have overdrive. We still have camo, which we've seen make an impact. Kinetic armor, yeah. Still lots of abilities. Usually you're at least going to see 1 or 2 go in that regard. It's actually going to be HC. All right, interesting. That one, I mean, obviously it's going to be the most used, most times up on the map just due to the cost of it. So that's going to narrow things a bit. And then overdrive's going to be the last one. That makes sense. When you're talking about specialists, overdrive, probably the one you want to see go the most here.
So you're still going to have a pretty powerful kinetic armor, a very powerful active camo. You combine the camo with something like a smoke. You see vision bolts coming out of Methods. I think vision bolts will be one that used a little bit more in a CTF. From the standpoint that when you're trying to push another team's base, you only have to pick up that 1 kill. You want to find out where that guy is laying in the back.
Sure.
You have Classic running camo. Kinetic comes out from Rise Nation. I fully expect to see a camo up. There it is from CLG. It's going to be Complex running it. Then maybe a Scythe here for these last 2 players. You're going to have Octane and BL Fire both running a Scythe. So pretty standard what to expect here going into game 4. I'm really just interested. You know, Rise looks great in the first respawn. They get kind of taken apart in the second one, even though they had a great setup.
This is going to a game 5 again.
I think this goes.
I think Rise is gonna bring it back in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of dominate a little in this. They've got to be frustrated after. Is this one of those?
CLG's got to be feeling pretty good though.
Is this an instance where you win game 1 almost so in such a dominating fashion? You're kind of like, well, pedal off the gas a little bit. Let's slow down, boys. And then CLG kind of surprises you a little bit. I mean, we've talked about the fact that CLG can potentially, when they're playing well, hang with anyone.
They can.
They just had some really tough losses. If they take out Rise, I mean, I'd be a little bit shocked. You know, our first question of the day for Twitter was, who pulls an upset? I mean, this is a big one for me. I know it's 1-3 versus 2-2. It's pretty close. But, again, when you're Rise Nation, your only losses are FaZe and Optic. You're not a 2-2 team.
Yeah, I got a few tweets during that one. Few people think Envy is going to take out OG.
It's possible.
Few people. I wouldn't even know who to say is the underdog in Elevate Luminosity. That is 2 teams who I feel like are about on equal footing at this point.
That's probably our most balanced matchup with regards to kind of an underdog. I don't know if there really is one.
I think this would be a huge underdog win. CLG is able to take out Rise. I mean, Rise, obviously their only 2 losses are to the 2 undefeated teams, but this would be a bad loss for them. And editing the score streaks, we can actually go into the game soon as it's just launching up. Maven, you think this is going to Game 5? I think it's going to Game 5
I think I could almost guarantee it. I have a very strong feeling that Rise is going to kind of blow the doors open on this one.
I'd be a bit shocked if they don't win this respawn.
Yeah, this is going to a Game 5, and that's what's scary. You know, CLG looked so good in Game 2. Rise looked a bit out of sorts, but again,
could have been Redwood. It could have been the fact that they just.
It 100% was the fact that no one was really watching the push through middle, the flank through A. They just seem kind of out of sorts with regards to communication. I think that's something they'll fix for the side of Infection, because that's a tougher map to flank on. I mean, you don't really see that many flanks on Infection for the most part.
Take a look at the.
I think that favors them to a degree.
Take a look at the CTF rules. It's going to be an unlimited score minute, 5-minute time limit. Teams are going to switch sides at the half, get an equal opportunity, and then it's going to be a 7.5-second respawn. So that's deaths are really going to hurt you.
All right, let's kick things off. Game 4. Again, sorry for the bit of the tech issues, but we're ready to rock now. Complex going to be able to pick up one, going to push around, pick up the player playing slow on the outskirts there, as that was Classic. Tries to push through. Unfortunately for him, 2 players to deal with on that side of the map.
He just flies towards the flag of Rise Nation. You're going to see BLFire able to go and pick up the flag. Let's see if he's able to make this out. He's pulling it actually right towards some players of Rise, not able to win that gunfight. Classic's able to take him out. Now you see Octane going on the offensive. You see CLG, they have no idea he's pushed down this left-hand side. I think he waits to pick up this flag. His teammates pick up some kills and then pick it up.
He waited for one kill, basically. As soon as that went down, he's going to decide to pull. He's pulling it to his teammate, which is wise. He's got a player coming mid-cut. That was one he kind of had to win in order to keep that pressure coming. But Looney, can he get a touch on this one and get out? He's waiting. He knows he's going to have somebody pushing from spawn here. Not sure if he's coming from high or low. Will he get cut out, though? No, the route through middle actually evades that player perfectly, and he's got a shot to get home here.
He makes it around this corner. He has a very good chance, Maven. There's one player to beat all the way on the left-hand side of the map, and Looney with a fantastic flag route, able to put it in there first there for Rise Nation.
Yeah, I thought he was in trouble because there was a player, I think, pushing from like bridge towards Palace, and then also a player, I think, top Sunroom that he was going to, I thought, get pinched if he went middle map, but it ended up working out perfectly.
No, fantastic flag run by Looney. I mean, just played that absolutely perfect. And the player on top of Sunroom takes a look, thinks he's going to be pushing down that left-hand side. He waited to see if he can get a shot above the AC on him, but now Looney cuts it back towards the middle, able to make it around that corner into Lab, and you have BLFire on the offensive again. He's the only one on this side of the map, though, for CLG. If those guys, for his teammates, can pick up some kills back at their base, this could be an easy score for CLG, but they're going to lose all those gunfights.
Look at his streaks.
Fully streaked out.
Wow, he went nuts because I was highlighting him because he picked up 2 in the base, so he has a huge pull. I thought BLFire was eventually going to go for this, but look at this. He's got a Talon trailing him now. Good luck picking him up, as Looney is going to do it all. I think he picked up 4 kills in and around the flag on the way to that flag run. Phenomenal job, Looney. You are a beast.
And now with the Talon, he's just going to keep running towards that CLG base. He just flies above him, picks up some kills. He was relying on it to pick up one there.
I hear it shooting.
Yeah, it's not able to take out that one player. You see Classic rocking the Kuda and something with the VMP allowed. Players using the Kuda. I think we're going to see a healthier mix in the SMG department. You see the kinetic armor coming in. Now we're going to have Looney actually
you're in trouble. Sorry about your luck.
Oh!
We've got air support. The Talon cleaning him up. I don't think you're going to be able to return the flag, pal. You're going to need a teammate to do that, but doesn't matter. The skies are raining.
He's able to put in some shots, not able to finish off any players, but I mean, you could not ask for a better guide to the flag carrier. Slacked puts in another one.
Full streaks for Slacked as well.
And it's a 3-0 first half for Rise. Streaks for everybody at this point. You got Cerberus probably going to come into play in the second half for CLG. This would be a talk about an upset. This would be, if they were able to win this one, this would be a huge upset. And nice little wall run route here from Slime.
This is kind of what I was worried about a bit for CLG, was just absolute dominance coming in from Rise. They have to be frustrated about those 2 losses previously. Looney going to be the only one up. He's still got streaks to work with. I don't think he got eyes on a player crossing palaces. He went the back route. He is looking back that way. He may realize something's up. He calls out to his teammate. Doesn't matter. His BLFire just bust out the RK5 there, and he's able to shut one down. Ultimately, though, not going to lead to anything. I mean,
BLFire, you would expect to be like the last line of defense for this CLG squad. He's been the one that we've seen is actually in the Rise base most of the time.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's been the one pushing forward, and on the other side, it's kind of been a mixed effort. You've had Slack getting aggressive. You had Looney pulling the flag. It's really been everyone. Here comes Slack. You got the smoke that allows him to get in a good position in the back. Not able to shut it down, but you still have several players here from the side of Rise trying to get forward. Felony just dominates Looney. Unfortunately for Felony, his team is on the short end of the stick right now as they are just, it's cruise control mode for right now for Rise. They're just shutting it down.
Going into the second half, it doesn't look much better for CLG. I think one game mode where streaks probably the most important is CTF. You're going to see the flag being pulled by Felony. Let's see if he can make something happen down the right-hand side of the map. Pops that kinetic at the perfect time, able to win one gunfight. It looks like he is Heatwave from behind, though. Fantastic use of the Heatwave there by Looney. Stops that flag run with that player with kinetic, and you see Octane set up in bottom broken.
Oh, hello to the Simtex. Yeah. He stays alive, though.
It looks like Rise, though, trying to set up for a last-second push here. They're running out of time, though, maybe. I don't think they can even get that flag back towards their base at this point.
You know, we saw that crazy flag run from Miracles on Stronghold, but obviously he had a little more time to work with here. Time not going to be on the side of Rise, but fortunately for them, the scoreboard is 3-0 lead. You saw Looney get full streaks. You saw Slack get full streaks. And it really, I mean, it was coming down to just really aggressive play from them. CLG, for the most part, pinned on their behind their 50-yard line, kind of. Other than Balefire, like you said, a couple times he snuck through the cracks. But for the most part, I mean, it was just pressure, pressure, pressure from Rise Nation. You know, every time you're spawning up for CLG, you're worried about someone flying into your base.
When your player who's supposed to be like your statue last line of defense is always playing in their base, it's probably not a good sign.
No, no, definitely not. This has been very...
Ah, that's a nice spot.
Oh, well, you know, we're going to switch off because this might be a very boring spot for the time being.
It's going to be a very boring spot.
It's good to see, though.
At home, you can definitely start utilizing that. Yeah, not much going on there. Slack falls off the map. Complex picks up one. Going to see Looney wrap back to his flag.
I want someone to take control of that thing.
That is Slack.
It was Slack that called it in. Come on, Slack, take control of it. Listen, you can stand still. Get some Cerberus kills.
It's going to be the Cerberus and Looney defending the base as players start to rotate back. See, it's going to be able to pick up one there. So we talked about how prevalent streaks are in CTF. You see Cerberus with one, Looney with two. Now they're able to break out of their base. That is a tough one for CLG as you know, they get control of the Rise base early, not able to make anything happen, and very early, within a minute of the game.
Well, a couple pretty good defense here coming in from CLG as they shut down two players. Unfortunately for them, Slack, the primary flag runner throughout this one, is able to sneak through. I love the use of the smoke there. Can't have somebody set up that bottom lab and look out the back door. He has his kinetic armor too, so as long as he gets across, he actually gets cut down. His teammate that was covering him there apparently wasn't really connecting. Who was it? Was it Looney?
That was Octane. That was Octane over there.
You know, you got to think, and he had a sight too. No, it's Balefire with sight. Okay, okay. Yeah. But like you think he's able to cover, at least get those shots off of him. And maybe he could have popped his kinetic armor. I probably would have, because if he gets around that corner, he scores, right?
And here's Methods with the flag, so maybe we see CLG able to make a little bit of a comeback here. He's able to dodge one Hellstorm. See, there's a lightning strike coming in now. He's able to dodge that, it looks like, as well.
So who was that calling in everything? Was that Slack or Looney?
And another Hellstorm comes in. Methods able to win one gunfight.
And he gets in the flag. Wow.
So a fantastic play by Methods. I mean, wastes almost all of the streaks of Rise Nation. Talked about how it would be tough to make this one a game. Methods right there with dodging 3 of those streaks, essentially wasting them on the side of Rise. Well, makes a big play, but this might be a counter cap, though.
Too. No, but Felony has it out. So this actually, I don't know who this looks better for, because they're kind of a 2-on-2. I mean, obviously with Slack already being home, a bit more prominent for them, but he's got a line of defense. Look at this. He's covered very, very well, so both sides looking good. The first one that's really going to be able to apply pressure here is probably going to be CLG.
Yeah, and it's going to be, looked like he was going to use that lightning, and Lexa just put it back in his pocket here. I like the idea to save the lightning in case something goes wrong here, where the guys on CLG will get the return, put the flag in. You'd like to have that lightning to prevent a last-second attempt of a score.
Well, Methods checking to see if anything was in Sunarm. Now he's going to start to push forward. The question is, can he get the surprise jump on this player? I think he can. He's got a good opportunity here to get the return. Comes soaring through the air like Batman. There's not the guy actually with the. I was thinking that was the flag carrier the entire time. Unfortunately, for me being blind, the flag carrier is actually the back of the base.
I was sitting there. I was like, why is he talking about him killing the flag carrier?
Well, his positioning there, I thought he was the flag carrier. Like, he's waiting in the back of the base.
Yep.
It's actually Slacked. You know.
And at this point, Rise is
so excited for him.
Rise is playing 4 on B. they are not even going for that return. You see Methods actually with a nade over the building, so he's able to take out the flag carrier, and 2 kills for Methods. Complex still on the hunt. He's gonna get Heat Wave, not able to finish that off. Classic able to pick up 2, but BL Fire kills him. Now we have another opportunity for CLG to return. And
no, if he gets that out, that's the potential, tie there if they're able to get it out of the base. Excellent job, though, from CLG. They were getting crushed early on. They're starting to roar back, and I mean, this is basically the story of game 1 through 3,
yes.
right? They get crushed in game 1, they climb back in 2 and 3.
Coming up with a minute to go, Maven, you have Methods. Believe he has a vision pulse, and you're going to have active out of Complex, so he's going to get towards that flag. He's going to win one gunfight. BL Fire wins one as well in the kill feed.
This might be a cap.
And they are running this down the left-hand side of the map. They need to get the overextension. You see the last streak coming in for Rise Nation. Not able to take out the flag carrier, and look at this. Classic's got to go big here.
That's why
There's a moment for Classic to go big.
No,
he gets him, but not able to return the flag. And CLG, talk about just the probability of this happening. There was almost none. I mean, we had everybody fully streaked out on Rise, and they were able to come back and tie it up here.
This is absolutely insane. I mean, that was one of the more dominating first halves of CTF we've seen. I know we've had a 10-0, we've had some crazy games.
We had a Cerberus, Lightning and Hellstorm on 2 players, and CLG does the unthinkable here in the second half, able to put in 3 flags and tie this game up, and 14 seconds to go. Doesn't look like anyone in position to make a play on the opposing team's flag. We are going to an overtime, Maven.
Wow.
If you are Rise, you have to be kicking yourself a little bit.
I don't even know how. This is one you have to watch again, almost, just to break down, like, what fell apart for them. They did such a good job in the first half. They controlled the side so well. You didn't see CLG able to get forward at all, really out of their own half, like we mentioned earlier. BL Fire sneaking through from time to time, and then all of a sudden, it's like the floodgates open. They switch sides, and the pressure just reverts. It's now them in control, them flying in. They use Camo to get a pull. They had Kinetic to get a pull. They really use their specialist abilities very well. I don't know how they even go about dealing with. There were so many streaks, man. But what, 3 of them got wasted on the 1 flag run, and that scored. So that hurt.
The flag run by Methods was crucial. I mean, they burned 3 of their 4 potential streaks at that point, and the last one they dodge at the end. But that flag run by Methods was probably the play of the game.
Absolutely, could not agree more. Just the ability there, heads-up plays, dodging streak, time and time again. He's playing ring around the rosy right now with 1 player. I think that's Slack. He's finally going to find him, though, not able to win the gunfight. Flag was out for just a second for Rise, but not able to really do anything.
You would say the momentum at this point is all in CLG's favor.
Without question. Without question.
It's going to be Complex with a teammate pushing into the Rise base, and Felony using that Kinetic should be able to pick up this kill easy. Now just needs to run down this right-hand side of the map.
One more to deal with. There's the Heat Wave, though.
Heat Waved like Looney, and we talked about it. Heat Wave.
This is still a pull. This is still dangerous territory right now. Methods can win 1. He can't. BL Fire, do you opt to just get a pull here, see what you can do? And it's funny, your Scythe player was the one that was so aggressive. I don't know about that, Tall.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of using the Scythe right there.
Tried to use the Scythe like a Vesper.
Yeah, no, it's actually not going to work that way. You see, Complex actually probably could have got the a little bit of a sneak advantage on the players over here, but fires off some shots. They have to know there's a player over in their base, Rise Nation, and
Looney
with
another
he's
big
highlighted as well.
Yep.
He's going to win 1 in the CLG base. This is a huge gunfight for Methods. They're able to take out Complex on the other side of things, so both bases clear for now.
Yep, no one able to really get forward, apply too much pressure, get through this one. Watching Slack kind of playing a sneaky role here underneath Broken. And now there's a player calling him out as he jumps across. Will he challenge top? Might get a kill, picked up 1 assist, managing to somehow stay alive. Slacked. You put so much pressure, did so much big work on the objective side of things inside 1. They need you here inside 2. And right now it looks like he's just trying to wreak a little havoc, wait until his team picks up a kill or 2, and then he'll pull. He's got to win this one. Can he get Felly? Felly not coming up big enough. He's able to close it down, pops the kinetic armor, but still going to be taken out. And did that get, the kill came in almost as soon as he popped it? Yep. I mean, it wasn't a headshot, but he was pretty tagged up.
Yeah, he was very hurt, maybe, when he elected to use that. Now you have Looney and Octane pushing down the right-hand side. Yeah, Looney picking up 1. BL Fire's going to win another one in the middle, but you still have Octane set up on this right side. I think he's going to try and wait until a teammate gets over towards that bottom Broken, potentially could use that Scythe, but he's going to have to actually challenge somebody over there in the CLG base. He's taken out. And this could potentially be a flag cap for CLG. See, Felony gets it into bottom Broken, should be able to run straight through.
He's gonna have
this is going to be a cap. So 2 minutes and 35 seconds on the clock in favor of CLG, Maven. Fantastic run there by Felony.
And you gotta think, this was, wait, all right, am I thinking about this wrong? This was the first cap to come in from this side, right? All 3 for either team came in from the opposite side, correct? Because the 3 for the first side, yeah. Because when they switched, so all 6 caps came in, not a single score until overtime from that side of the map.
Yes.
All right, well, here we go. CLG, can you do it? You need this win. You need it for the fans. You need it for your family members. They're disappointed right now. You're 1-3. Can you hold on for 2.5 minutes?
I am sure that Method's parents are very disappointed with his start so far in the CWL, but looking to right some things here. This could be a huge win over CLG. Have Octane popping that site, going to try and bring into the base, and it's 2 kills in the feed in favor of Rise Nation. Methods coming up with a big 2-piece, though. His mom's going to be proud of that. 2 minutes left to go here, Maven. We've seen the great things Looney has done with Heatwave in this map. Can he make another play with that ability?
This is like the opposite of what Rise Nation dealt with in CTF last week. They were the come-behind kids. Every time Elevate put in a flag, Rise was there to score again. They end up taking that one in overtime. Can they come up huge in overtime again? They're down. And this is Looney. Can you pick up a kill? Not able to grab one. Are they able to close it out there? Flag still out. It's going to be classic. You've got plenty of time. 90 seconds to score. All the pressure coming towards your base. They kill Slacked on the overextension, and this is big. Can they get in? They have to kill one more. They get the smoke down. That might actually end up helping him. Can he get in?
Why are we throwing a smoke?
The smoke just lets him fly in uncontested. Why was that for? Why? Okay, I know I'm not a pro player, but if anything, that kills their line of sight on the player flying in with the flag. I mean, that was his smoke. Unless there was another one tossed from... Are there any specialists you really want to keep eyes on with?
Specialists, I would like to see if either team opts to use Psychosis. This is the one where you can use Psychosis to your advantage to push down that B Street on the offensive side of things. And we'll see Looney, he's taking his time right here as the Vesper ban.
Yeah, this is the second time where we've saw the first pick come in for CLG, and then Looney takes quite a while. They're obviously thinking it over. What do they want to get rid of? High Caliber going to go first. Flashbang, there's the SVG ban. You mentioned that.
So Felony gets rid of the SVG.
That's directly at Octane. I mean, Octane's been a beast with that gun. The question is now, you wanted him to kind of put that away, though, remember? On the last map, does this favor him?
He stuck with it for a very long time.
Well, do you think this might actually end up favoring Rise? If he puts it away, just starts to get things going.
Well, Rise, I mean, they used it on that last map.
Is that the first Danger Close ban?
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen a Danger Close ban, but that's going to be gone. You see the Shiva gone as well. I don't know how much that sniper ban hurts, especially if you're going to try and push down that B Street. You see the concussion's gone and then rapid fire as well. So nothing too crazy. Now all the abilities are in. So
I guess my point is, with Octane, I mean, you personally felt like maybe putting the sniper away.
Well, sometimes players fall in love with it a little bit too much. It used to be like Formal's crutch as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I kind of wondering, though, now, is that going to help? Ultimately, if Octane puts that away, plays a little more aggressive, plays with an M8, which he's one of the best M8 players in the game.
Right.
Does he end up having more of an impact on this particular game? Or the fact that he's always sniping, does that actually hinder him more because he's so used to kind of playing that role on this map? We'll have to, I mean, only time will tell.
Yes, maybe only time will tell. So you're going to have Octane run Psychosis. We talk about how Psychosis, that can be used on that B Street. Very effective on this map. Probably the most effective on this map. You see Heatwave coming out from both sides. The Kinetic on the side of Rise. You probably see a Camo come in from Classic. And then I think the side of CLG, BL-Fire, maybe either probably Glitch or Psychosis. Or, ooh, you get a Vision Pulse. Interesting. So no Psychosis on the side of
so this is a map where I actually really like Psychosis on. I know I'm kind of 50-50 with it just due to the results you get from it, but Vision Pulse, I mean,
Vision Pulse for Psychosis, that's like the...
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an issue with either, but Vision Pulse will be good. I mean, especially in those rounds that kind of fall apart, where you're pushing towards B, you end up like a 2v3, maybe you rotate around to A, you get the bomb down at A, and now you're just kind of like, oh god, where's everyone coming from? You can kind of pop it. They know you got the bomb down at A, so it doesn't really hurt to get that ping. Then you get more information on how they're closing on you. There's a lot of different ways you can use it, but this is a game type where I feel like, or this map, I feel like more rounds kind of fall apart and turn to a scramble than not, because you always kind of push towards B, right? I mean, you always send one out left, 3 go towards B, in the opening 20 seconds, whoever gets a kill, I mean, if one offensive player dies, I mean, it just falls apart so quickly.
And even when you get the bomb down at B, there's so many spots that people play, right?
Sure.
People play at that mid statue, they jump up down, they look at the entrance to the B site. Now, if you planted it for the other side, now you're playing on top of those sandbags, looking down towards the B site. You got players playing on top of the rock. I think Vision Pulse could be used in that type of situation, like a 2v2 when you need to get into the site, or you're trying to get bombed down, trying to figure out where some of those players are. I think that's where Vision Pulse could be used effectively.
And this will, the person I'm really going to watch to a degree, I want to keep eyes on with Octane, especially early on, because he likes to snipe, I think, a lot. I mean, we've seen him do it very, very effectively on both sides, defense or offense. Does that ban throw him off at all? I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I don't think it's the first time he's had to deal with sniper being banned.
No.
For sure. But does he consider the Locust at all? Does he decide to just go with the M8? Shiva was banned, so I assume he's probably going to be M8, RK5.
I would assume so. We've seen some players use the Locust, but results in a lot of hit markers, so to speak. So I don't think we'll see
we've only seen it used once or twice. And both times I think we saw it used, it had a hit marker.
So Infection, Search, and Destroy going to be your Game 5 here in Rise versus CLG. A fantastic series to kick off day 1 of Week 3 here in the North American Pro Division. Search and Destroy, first to 6 rounds will win. Plant time of the bomb is going to be 5 seconds. Defuse time 7.5, so keep an eye on those clocks.
All right, here we go. Going to kick things off. You know, I said BLFire was going to be the man of the match, that they were going to take this game. The first thing he does is, I think, misses G-Slap. You know what, I have faith.
He's going to throw down trophies as they're going to try and push down this B street and then get up the top rock. This is a great vantage point for assault rifle players. And you see the accurate shots there coming down on a Slack. You see Classic going to take one out. But the players
wisely
CLG,
dips. Good job.
Yep, inside of this B site. You see the nades come flying in. Going to be able to get the bomb down. I do not like the fact that both players playing in the same corner. Yep, Methods immediately realizes he's not going to sit there because Complexes.
Yeah, let's not, this isn't Step Brothers. You don't have bunk beds. You don't need to bundle up here inside that B. The push comes in, able to shut that down with the RK5. Classic will drop. It's going to be Looney by himself coming around the backside. He's going to have a tough gunfight here as soon as he peeks, but he wins one. Can he stay alive? Wraps the corner. Excellent job. He's going to re-peek, and he gets it. He's got 20 seconds. He should have plenty of time to get there. He's cruising in. Looney, Captain Clutch. Excellent job there in round 1. Woo!
You can't lose that if you're CLG.
No,
you get first blood. You get the first 2 kills. Right?
I'm pretty sure
that was a 1v3.
The first player got first shot on him too. The second player, I don't really mind the second player pushing him because he is so weak. I mean, he gets the call, hey, I'm weak. You can't lose that gunfight right there. I don't think he lands a bullet. He does land a bullet. He goes into panic mode and gets out.
Yeah, the first shot's wide left, the second one's wide right.
I mean, I guess there you kind of, I would shoulder peek, see if he got behind the rock and just get back. You don't come out as far as he did. I mean, he came out, what, 6 feet around that corner? A player like Looney's going to line that up. But now, we're staying with you, Loon Dog. I just made that nickname up. You like it?
Loon Dog.
Loon Dog?
I think it's actually awful.
No, it's really, really horrible, and I apologize to him, you know, his girlfriend, family, everyone. But here we go. Round 2. Looney, 3-0. He's got an HC car to work with. You can see what we're talking about. Be dominant. That's going to be the way to go. Scouting information now coming in for the HC. What can he see? There's a player behind the rock. Unfortunately, that detonation maybe provides some chunk of rocks.
But because of the HCXD, that BLFire has to play a little bit more passive defensive, hide behind that rock. Classic able to get into a position where he can finish off that kill right away. So good use of following up that HCXD. You see Methods trying to get an eye on top rock. He shut off. Nope. And I believe you're going to see Looney get up and get that bomb down soon.
And Octane still being a nuisance mid-map. So he's basically kind of pinned this player at steps. I mean, who is that? That's Felony. So Felony hasn't been able to go help on B.
He can see if he crosses into the bomb site.
Yes, he can. So he can't help on B. There's nothing he can do because Octane's playing his role perfectly. I was wondering if maybe Complex would try and push him, but they're just waiting patiently. They have to make a play, though. They're 2v4. They're surrounded on both sides. You have to fly at them. I mean, as dumb as this play kind of looks, you don't have an option there. You have to make a play. You have to go sword Octane.
At this point, I mean, Octane is just controlling that whole middle area. Have Methods has absolutely no play. I mean, he's going to get called out crossing here, and eventually they were just going to pinch him. Fantastic play by Rise.
And that's a play where almost maybe you prefer to have the M8 instead of the snipe because you have a player on your left and mid, you have a player on those steps, and yes, if you hit the shot with the sniper, it's more effective. But all he did was lay down. He didn't even get a kill. He laid down fire the whole time.
If he has a sniper rifle, they push him a lot earlier.
True, very, very true.
They don't take that much time to push him if he has a sniper rifle. Yeah. He misses one shot, they push him right away.
Absolutely. So that's one round where we're going to see it work out in the favor. So that ban from Felony at least helping Rise maybe a little bit early on. But now let's see what CLG can do on offense. They've got to be demoralized here as Looney stopped him around one, and he's just going to catch a Simtex to the toe there coming in from Octane. Balefire trying to wrap around. He's able to catch one kind of floating there in midair, but they're in a 2 versus 3, and both are stuck on rocks. What do you do? The pressure's coming. The catch by the corner. Gonna get a Balefire, getting flanked. Stay alive, buddy. How do you challenge this? And he gets it! Balefire, you monster. But unfortunately for you, you've got Looney.
Still alive, yeah,
Can he clutch again? He wisely is going to back down. He knows the pressure is coming. Oh, what do you think? Should I go back to the spot that I just clutched it in round 1?
Oh, well,
I don't mind if I do.
CLG is going to rotate the bomb, though, maybe.
Oh, well, you know, Looney, I like it.
Yeah, really excited. CLG is going to rotate that bomb, but
I thought it was great.
The player's actually pretty spread out, so Balefire is going to get his H60. See, there's one playing mid-map, one's going to be going towards Grave. If Looney can kill this player over in the back towards Grave, this might be a round he's able to win yet again.
Looney, you got 30 seconds to work with. You've been so clutch throughout this game 5 thus far.
They have to know he's coming from
this first gunfight's going to be big. He's going to get in. Will he find the player playing right behind the bomb is the question. He's just taking so much time here. He's got to make a move. He found him for just a second, but that's good positioning there from Balefire. You're going to have a big advantage there, and that's going to be the ace actually for Balefire because he picked up the first 3. So just think about round 1, how crazy that was. And think about this round. So you're in a 2v, was a 2v4 or 2v3, I think, and you've got both players on the rock. So the other team's like, oh god, we have them locked. Like, there's nowhere you can go. The only way to run away is basically jumping off the map. Like, you're stuck up there.
They stay alive.
And Balefire gets all 3 players, ends up getting 4. I want to stay with him.
He's got an HC of his own.
And he's working towards a dart. So I know we like to go on with the offense, but if you don't mind at home, we're going to stick on with Balefire for just a moment as he's coming off a monster round.
Going to have these trophies to block some nades coming in from Rise Nation. He's going to challenge one straight away, and he's going to crush Octane there.
He only needs 50 points.
HC and not able to...
Do you really want to re-peek him? Did you see what just happened to your teammate? Maybe you want to back down from that gunfight.
Yeah, no, that's not one you want to do. You don't have to challenge. You have the man advantage. At this point, you just want to stay alive as long as possible. You have Looney with Heat Wave. Always a powerful specialist ability. Potentially could make a play, and he keeps peeking Classic. Classic sits there. This is not one that Balefire wants to challenge.
I mean, Classic has got a player using that rock in the back. There's just players everywhere Classic looks. He's terrified right now, just trying to find a gap that he can come in. He tries to get behind, but you know, there's that player that's playing those mid steps. Good job there, but Looney can get 1. He's in a 2v1 all of a sudden as they pick up 3 kills back to back to back. Excellent job from Rise. What was a 3v4? Seems to be falling apart from CLG. Can they close it out? Complex, the man to clutch, but they're just going to push him. They come flying out. They haven't found him yet, but he's got Arcane 5 to his left. He picks up the bomb carrier. Challenges 1, but Slack's able to close it out.
That was scary.
That was very,
I don't think they knew any idea where Complex was.
I was scared.
You get scared pretty easy. Well, Classic.
I don't know. I saw the ring. I wasn't even scared of that movie.
I get scared because Slack picks up the bomb, and he turns his back to Complex and just starts walking up the stairs. I thought for a second Complex might be able to put down some shots.
You saw kind of with that X-ray vision, he had the RK5 out. Looked like he was going to push him there and make a play, but the opposite happens, unfortunately. Or fortunately for them, though, Slack able to close it out. But let's get going here. I told you. I said Balefire was having a big game.
Balefire is having a huge game.
He's got the ace.
They need methods to come out with some more, though.
Well, if by more you mean a kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Methods, what's going on with you, buddy? Let's check over. Captain Methods needs to come up big in the clutch. He is so out in the open right there. I thought he was going to get shot in the back for a second, but he manages to stay alive. Rotating back towards mid is Balefire. And they've got just kind of this kind of stagnant back line just set up. And who's playing right on the other side? So what's the angle look like for Complex? Because that player...
He cannot see Slacked up on top rock.
No, he doesn't have the angle on it, but will he hear him pushing over? What's he going to be running right now? No, he does have Dead Silence and Blast Suppressor, so he can get in this position very sneakily, and he won't hear him wrapping around the side. Here comes the
once
pressure.
The player jumps up to top rock, Slack's going to jump down, and actually Felony's able to win that gunfight. It's going to be Classic on the B-bomb. He's able to win 1. Now going to dip out. Love the play by Rise Nation.
Balefire should get flanked in a second. Yep. And now it's up to Methods. We talked about the fact that he really needs to get on the board here. He's going to push play in the back. I love the aggressive play. He tags up Octane, 2v2. 25 seconds on the clock. All of a sudden, he's by his lonesome. Can you come up big here, Methods? You're getting tagged up. You don't have time to work with. You got to get bombed down. He's got to make a play.
Yeah, he's got to pick up one of these kills, and you see they just keep toying with him a little bit.
So screwed there.
Yeah, I mean, one player darts in front of the door. They get some shots out of him. See Classic right here. He's going to dart right in front. Method has to turn his attention. And just a fantastic job just baiting and switching between Looney and
exactly.
Classic there.
That was perfectly done. You didn't have somebody trying to be the hero, fly in, pick up the kill. Just basically, it was just a bait and switch kind of going back and forth between both the guys. Incredible job.
So now Rise, let's go on board with them on offense, Maven. What do we have in terms of abilities? So you got looks like you'll have a Psychosis here in a second. You have a Heat Wave, and you have Camo.
You have everything but your Kinetic.
Yeah, you have everything but Kinetic. Do they like to use this when they push over towards B this round? Looks like you're going to see Camo come into play here. If you're Classic, you probably pop it at some point, you would think.
Ooh, just tried to nip the head off the player playing it. Take it. He's actually going to get pushed from middle, so the Camo doesn't come into play. And Bielfire comes up big. He's actually able to pick up 2. He's working on his second ace of this game. And he might catch one more. Nope, gets tagged up, back down. Felon, he's going to be able to pick it up. Slacked in a 1v3. 50 seconds on the clock. He's chasing one here in Graveyard. Has to back down. And CLG getting back on the board.
See Classic use Camo once he gets towards mid-map.
Well,
and be able to get like to the other side of the steps, not the Rise side, but the CLG side of the steps, and then potentially just kind of like hang out there and wait to see if they draw Bielfire out. That would have been a nice play.
As soon as he challenged that player on tank, I thought he was just going to pop it and go for him. I thought he was just going to get crazy aggressive and go try to pick up that first kill. Instead, I think the shots came from the B-bomb site across. Who do you want to start with here? Back to CLG on offense, Matt. You know, I kind of have to go with Bielfire, though. He's 8-5. He's got his vision pulse.
Yeah.
How do you think he might use this offensively? Or is he saving this right now?
I think you save this for something a little bit more, I don't want to say meaningful, but not at least at the start of this game, especially now. Classic, they keep challenging him on this rock.
Yeah, that's Classic's rock. It's Classic's rock, and Octane just shuts down 2 Methods by himself.
At that point, you were just asking for it if you were CLG, right?
Yeah.
You just, round after round, you kept challenging him from the offensive or defensive side. Eventually, they were going to adjust their defensive setup. You see Rise with a very easy defensive round win.
Wow, that was, I mean, basically, it was just peak coming from Classic at the rock, and then Octane, I don't even know, what do we call it, outskirts rock? I call it a bunch of different things, but there was nothing they could really do. You have 2 players that are so effective with ARs, not able to win those gunfights, but now we have our first A push, so this is going to be big because they're really going to have 1 player to deal with. I'm actually going to watch this from Complex's point of view. Oh, but they're going to hit middle, actually. So they're flying in. They're going to have 1 player right away. The Psychosis comes in. He's just meleeing nothing. But he gets 1, but Looney's actually going to pick up a teammate then. So instead of this being potentially, a 3 versus 2, they're going to lose 1. All of a sudden, Slack's here by himself.
Yeah, he's got his Kinetic as well, so we'll have to see if he elects to use that on the side of.
They realize that bomb, it looks like.
The CLG, they're close, reasonably close to a Kinetic, closer to a Camo though, so they're close to 2 abilities as well, and there's still a lot of time here. I mean, 50 seconds left. Slack doesn't really need to rush this.
Well, if he gets 1, you pop that Kinetic armor right away, find the second. That's
well, you expect to get challenged by the second player.
Exactly,
right
exactly. So get that kill, pop it if you can. I mean, if you knew where they both were, you could kind of pop it early, but he's just hunting right now. He's got no idea where he's looking. And let's gonna kind of show the POV. There's a player there, top grandma's, and I think he might have saw him just for a second. He did. He's gonna try and challenge this. He gets re-peeked though, and Felony with confidence able to shut down Slack mid-map.
Well, he had a teammate coming right on the other side of the tank, so smart peek right here by Felony. They definitely saw him approaching towards that bomb, and you see the re-peek coming out. It will dodge the shots of Slack. Put CLG on the board as they are trying to stay alive here, maybe in force around 11. I thought this would be like a 10 or 11 round game. So
yeah, and that's the way it's certainly going. I picked CLG. I'm not feeling good about it. This is the round. I mean, they've been struggling mightily on offense, right? They haven't been able to get a whole lot done. The one time they got a really good push was when Looney ended up 1v3ing, I think. So just not looking strong on offense, and the timing works out miserably there for Bielfire. He had that corner pre-fire, but as soon as Octane peeked out, he was basically gunned down, and they just get stomped. And now it's going to be Rise Nation gets to 3-2. They've struggled a little bit so far in stage 1, but they are an incredible team, and now they get back over 500.
They've played some difficult teams. I don't think they've had an easy kind of schedule at the start.
No, they have not at all.